So today I decided that I wanted to continue cleaning up my Ken doll collection. And I stumbled upon some stuff yesterday when we were going through my Max Steel Ken doll hybrids, and I wanted to do some things to some of the great things that I found that I forgot that I had. And you might not agree with some of the things I did, but let's take a look at some of the. So last night I couldn't stop thinking about. Well, I was cleaning up the mess that I made, and then there was this head, and this head is one of the only articulated '80s style heads. So it was very rare for them to do that. They usually just had that strange peg that moves back and forth, and I normally have to cut that out if I want to use a retro head. But this is a modern style totally pivoting head that fits so nicely on the peg. And this one was all messed up because I got it out of the thrift store. And the body was in even worse shape, so I just kept the head, but the hair was chipped and the mouth was chipped, and the eyebrows I obviously should have kept. Now, like yesterday I mentioned, I like to create weird hybrids anyway and make them look like I own like some kind of weird prototype action figure, and that is kind of what was achieved here. His eyes were in good condition, so I didn't acetone them off. And maybe I shouldn't have done it, or maybe I should take off his eyes as well. I do have a Max Steel. I don't have him here. I showed him in yesterday's video. But, yeah. Okay, and I put him in these basic shorts, and then over on my Too Hunky channel, we are opening a lot of skate shoes. So that's why he has those on today, because I used him for Friday the 13th. Happy Friday the 13th. He is a very creepy new favorite, but the head looks so good. It's actually perfect for the neck. And these do shrink over time, I believe. I'm not sure if all of them shrink or some of them shrink, but maybe it does seem like a pretty good sized noggin for this body. So this is a new favorite action figure or action doll right now, and I can't wait to be putting him into some more fashion. See the shorts he's wearing? This is another thing that I wanted to tackle today. At one point I bought all kinds of water play dolls so I could display all of the fashion packs that I had. And then, I did have all of the fashion packs that were put out like since I don't know, some kind of rebrand in 2015. So I was collecting all of the Ken Fashion packs, and then I was putting those on and putting them on a shelf, and I put them all on the same water play doll. And I do have one in here where he's right here. It's also my favorite Ken head. So somewhere in boxes I have about, I don't know, 20, 30 of this guy. But then in Canada, we started having a really hard time getting some of the fashion packs, and then the wall was getting too, because I had my Fashionistas and the Ken dolls, and the wall was getting too full. And also, I rotate what's on the wall, and I have to. These were open packages, or not open packages, but complete open figures, and I put closed packages on the wall now because it's easier to dust and clean than a full action figure or doll that's on the shelf somewhere. So it was a pretty cool setup. I do have pictures on my Instagram of that, and I might want to revisit that again one day. But I have so many of these shorts. This is where we're going with that. Also, these water play dolls. I couldn't stop thinking about putting those back together, because I know that these two guys had on the water play shorts, and they have to not wear them. As much as I thought they were perfect for them, and I made these guys and opened those water play guys in the summer, and I took some great pictures by the pool with these outfits on, but I did put their jackets back on them because those are their official jackets, and the rest of their clothes I don't really like. It's about the quality, or maybe because they were older and a little worn out and stuff. But the jackets are in phenomenal condition, and they look really good on them. That is why they're wearing their official jackets, and also because they had the older 80s style body, so it was a little buffer and very much the same proportions as these Max Steel bodies. So I did want to see if I could get these on there. Okay. And when I was looking in the water play, I also discovered some of these heads, this darker complected heads. Now I did do a whole video, and I'm not sure I covered this, on the dark complected buff body, and I will show you some more buff bodies afterwards, but maybe we'll segue into the skin tone, because I'm not sure I covered all of this information in the 2 videos I did on matching these heads, the buff body, to other fashionista heads or other Ken doll heads. More unrooting. I created this one. Okay, so I created this one. This one I created too. This is a mermaid head on one of the new Barbie movie bodies, and I removed his hair, making them look like, again, like a weird bald prototype. But that's what I'm into. I really like the articulation on this body, and I like the shape and the proportions, and it's nicer than, I mean, this is the amount of articulation I need. This guy, he's made to move though. I did put this head, so I did talk about this in the last video where I had this head, which wasn't really a good skin tone match for this Max Steel body. This, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's just so weird, and it's way better than this skin tone though. It matches quite well. It's kind of seamless, and he looks like a giant baby. And when I do put these things together, just like my favorite Barbie color reveal heads, you can see they do remind me of wooden baby. I don't know what they're like, made with compressed sawdust, and they were layers of paint over their hair, but that's how baby dolls were made, like in the 16, 17, 1800s. And they remind me of that. Both of these heads do. It's the sculpted hair and the paint on it, well, or the lack of paint on it. But yeah, definitely new favorite. This guy, really, really cool. This guy, oh, and I guess since we're talking about those shorts, this guy, that head sculpt was my favorite, which is why I was so happy to buy so many of these, because I didn't mind looking at his head. It's a really cool Ken head. They used him for Ken, but they've also used him for other characters too, like this vitiligo Ken, which is my favorite. So it took this head sculpt to the next level by giving him a really cool skin complexion. And I think he looks so good on this semi-robotic body. So a favorite indeed. Let's get these shorts back on their owners, and I will show you the full collection of water play. And I guess what's going to happen is so many of the guys are going to be putting on these shorts right now. I was struggling with his tiny little black shorts. I mean, I could have left them on for the video, because Christmas mornings, like every morning, I would take him and I would put the different shoes on him, and I mean, that's what we wear Christmas morning, just our pajamas, our cozy wear at home. But I don't know, his black little shorts kept riding up, so this is more applicable, and it does match every sneaker you could possibly want. It looks so good with these sneakers. Is there even that color blue in there? There's not even that color blue in there, but oh, maybe there is. No, I see the green. But yeah, this shorts has, I'm looking, it looks kind of like Christmas trees. These are Christmas shorts. They're magical Christmas shorts because they match everything. Okay, and it wouldn't matter, like, if they did or not. Okay, and I noticed that some of them are bigger than others, so I have to be careful. But I think, I didn't know what I was going to put on these guys. I mean, 90210, always at the beach with their surfboards hanging out there. They, you know, that's what happens in California, apparently. according to the show in the 90s, but I need to give the proper owners back their shorts so that I can have my full collection intact. And I also had to go look searching for the heads, and I noticed that's where we segue to the skin tones of these, because I noticed that I had taken the heads off of some of these beach dolls so that I would have them for this guy's body. And I don't think I noticed, because I had one of them on this guy's body, but I don't think when I did the reviews of these, I might have, I don't really remember, did I bring in, because this is exactly the same skin tone, or so close that it doesn't matter. So the buff Ken and the articulated made to move DMR, dark complected guy, they all have the same skin tone. So if you're looking for a skin tone for the buff guy, you just look at whatever people had matched this guy to. And there are a couple beach dolls, which I don't know, we'll talk about that when we get to the beach dolls in a second, once I get these pants off of these guys. This is the hard part, and I probably shouldn't do this on video because I have to struggle to get these on and off, because the tight, big-thighed, thick Max Steel legs, and none of these have stretch in them. They're nylon, but some of them do fit better than others, and it's also really hard to get things on. But I do notice that the way that these are made, the elastic falls nicely into the groove here, and they stay on well. And sometimes I do struggle with getting pants to stay in a good position on here, but if they do have that right-sized elastic, it fits nicely into that groove, and it's perfect for these. These are definitely two of my favorite hybrid. I would have never used or played with the dolls, the action figures, if I had left them with their original bodies that just had the 5 points of articulation. But now that they have a little more posability, I can sit them down and do more things with them. So I do not regret cutting off their heads and then cutting out the components and then sanding down their necks, which I made videos all about that, just so I could have a good looking figure that looks really cool. Yeah, and the skin tone match is pretty good on these as well, so I'm very happy with that. So I've got all these hybrids that are my favorites. I should probably, I thought that obviously I talk too much about this stuff, and I guess I'm way too passionate about it. I thought we were going to work in a Slate part, but I guess I can't do a favorite Ken doll video without mentioning Slate from Cave Club, made by Mattel as well. I thought I was going to open up this fashion pack and give him all of the accessories, but I think this can be a video in itself. There's just so much going on in this fashion pack. I got this extra from Amazon, and I am excited to open that and give everybody everything they want. Like, there's lots of things in there for Slate, but some things in there that won't fit him. But pretty much more than half, now that I'm looking at it, will be totally perfect for him. So I am excited to get that. It was a good deal, and I needed to buy something extra so that, I didn't have to pay for shipping. Okay, so we have, before we get to the beach doll, let me get into these shorts. I think the ones that feel more stiff are the ones that are slightly bigger. So I guess they did different runs of these. Oh yeah, I've got a lot to tell you about the I think these ones. I like these. There's something about the nylon that they're made of. I usually like, and they usually do hem these, but for some reason, this style and these two styles were not hemmed, which I find kind of a coincidence, because you'll see that most of the time they do a really good job with the Ken shorts. Is this really what I want to do? I guess. I do kind of like that they're kind of like twins, too. they'll always go together. I'll always have to use the Brandon and Dylan ones together. I hope I'm not wrong. I think you know how doll clothes are all made individually. I should probably take these jackets off, but I do have to heat up the hands. Oh, maybe not on this one. On this one, the whole plastic bag over the hand thing isn't going to work in this scenario because the hands are just way too big to fit through the holes. But I do use the plastic bag corner trick to get my hands through clothing. It's just that these ones are giant hands, and they are a good rubber that when you heat it up, which all right, I guess it's all trial and error, but these ones have thinner legs than some of the other ones. I guess I won't put you through this today, but it does seem that I am going to be dressing these guys into these shorts, probably while I am uploading the video, but I think that is the right choice. I mean, I'm probably going to have to take them off. You know what? Maybe I won't do it because we do have to go through all of my Ken fashions at some point, and we have to really look through the bottoms, and it would be cool to see which ones fit on them. And maybe I will take off their jackets. And I also want to look at my retro clothing collection. I seem to not like it unless the items were brand new. I don't know. I don't really like worn things. I mean, in real life, that's all I wear is worn things. I like that rustic look, but for the perfect plastic doll world, yeah, it's got to be more together. So I'm just going to keep those separately in this fashion pack, and I will revisit that. It does seem like everybody is wearing these shorts now. Wait, even Big Jeff. Even Big Jeff from the 1970s, smaller 10-inch scale doll, he is also wearing those shorts. But here, let's bring up the Buff Mini-Me. We got to put the glasses on him since I'm being all nerdy today. We have to be nerdy. So there we go. That's normally he's in the normal outfit that I normally wear, but it's too cold. I mean, we are obviously still matching, aren't we? So that's cool. He probably has a better physique than I do, obviously, but you know, one can dream. All right. That's what this is all about. It's aspirational, it's fun, it's fantasy, it's pretending. I also have this cool outfit. Oh, these shorts would go much better. You know what? I have two of these shorts. I bought this doll for $10 at Walmart, and I was like so happy to find him. And then when I went back to the store, I contemplated. I knew that they had two of them, and there was one that was hidden behind all the other dolls on the shelf. And when I scanned it to see what the price was, it was $1. So I did buy the other one, and I had a problem with this shirt. So I was going to return the $10 one. I probably should have returned it and then bought it again, because they usually put the stuff back on the... Anyway, I didn't. So, but I paid $11 for two of them, so I can't complain about that. Slate wants to wear this stuff. I think it'd be too big. Definitely matches his shorts here. Again, he also has had his hair removed. We all like to keep things simple. Okay, so I remembered that this guy got the solid blue, and I don't think we'll be getting new ones of these anytime soon. I think recently they do them every 2 years. They used to put them out every year, every 2 years or so now. But again, these two heads, so these are the last two waves of them. This, I believe, is the last wave, and this was the wave before. I hope I'm right saying that. But you can see that they're on the darker skin complexion spectrum, so not exactly the same skin tone, but I don't think it's exactly the skin tone of this one either. But you can see that this guy is very similar to that skin tone, but it's totally doable. So these two, even though these are very hard to come by, I think both of these I had to get on Amazon, and you have to get them right away as soon as they're released and as soon as you see them, because they'll sell out. And then at the stores, they have loads of these ones, so many Kens, and I think that they don't necessarily put out all of the girls too. No, I think they do. No, I'm not sure. I'm not. Maybe some of the skin tones aren't available in some of the girls at when they start putting them out in release. And you know what? Initially, they might have them available at Walmart. Like I know that these ones came in totally covered boxes. So the first time that they released this wave, it was totally covered and you couldn't see what doll you were getting. A lot of people had to open them, but then they started putting them in open face packages. Now I've seen prototype pictures of him in an open face package, but I have never seen him in real life in one, and I was kind of excited because my grocery store across the street, I saw their schematic plan for when they were putting out Christmas stuff, and they got some Christmas toys, but they had a picture of this guy in the open face boxing. But when I went the next day to see the display that they had finished, because they had all the boxes and they were putting out the toys the night before when the store was closing, and when I went back, they just had Ken and some of the other girls from the line with the sculpted on. What's so great about this is that we get a real Ken doll with a real pair of shorts and a real head for using. Like, you know, like I said, these 5 points really aren't enough, but I kind of like collecting them as like models and you know, at least having some kind of head to stand by, and it's just a really cool collection to see how they change throughout the years and how they always give them a new head, which I really like. So this one really doesn't. I guess this guy was kind of before they did, you know, Mattel had a whole makeover every decade or so. They do this big changeover, and this guy was kind of in between the phase, but this was one of the Ken heads that was before, and I think I kind of had to mash him up with it's not a real I think they made the shorts a little bit different for this head. I think they were a little baggier or something, but it was the same material, and they later released these shorts on this guy, or not the smiley guy because he's new, but on this guy, or I can't remember the whole story. Anyway, I think that this one is kind of mashed together to show this pattern shorts that were available with this head. And it's really true that every single one of these are different. Even the Ken faces. Oh, because they changed the hair color. We'll see that. So I'm not going to show them in order this time, but I will show you them. I'll try to. The oldest one here. And then Ryan. So they would use that same Ken head and then release them, paint it differently, and release them as Ryan. I think that one would have came out around the time of this Ken. So then they started painting his hair in different colors, which is great to have. That's why it's great to have these heads, and it's great to have these different really cool pattern shorts. See, those ones are a bit baggier because that's what was happening early 2000s. And then I guess Steven fits in here somewhere, but that is such a new head sculpt that this Steven first. Okay, so this one's more classic. These ones would have came out at the same time, and you can kind of tell how the shorts are constructed. They're constructed exactly the same, just in different fabrications, but those are two very cool ones to have. Then we would have got Oh, I think it must be this guy and this guy. I think that's what must have happened. Or this guy, I seem to remember him by himself. Anyway, this was a really cool one. You have to get the dark complected Ken Fashionistas, like I said, right away. Whenever you see one, if it's on Amazon, you might have to pay a lot more because, oh, the best part about this collection is that they're $5 or $6. So in Canada, they're $6 now, but they used to be $4 or $5. Oh yeah, I even think $4 in the United States. So come on, I mean, just for the head and the shorts alone, to add and switch up the existing action dolls that you have, then. But this is definitely one of my favorite heads, and one that we just got recently. He's the most recent fashionista, in fact, in the onesie, which I really love that, but definitely a different complexion. I did want to show a video. I guess this would have been the perfect video to do that, but it's not going to happen here. And then here's one of the best made shorts. I don't know what it is. I think it's the material. It's more cottony, it's softer, and I think I also like the length of them because I'm a short shorts kind of guy. Oh yeah, he would have came out at the same time as this guy. And then if you noticed, yeah, this guy's on his own for sure, because everybody else, all of the other selections that I'm showing you, they all have hemmed bottoms on all of their shorts from the different waves. So these two must have came out together, or was it these two that came out together? I don't know. Or did he come out? Did I drop one? Is there one that's not here? I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my other videos and see how that's going on. Oh, maybe some of these are hemmed in here. Maybe they were. Oh, there are. You know what? That is what's going on. Look, I see that some have a hem on the bottom. Those are the coveted shorts. They're made better. But so yes, okay. So they were releasing him with only some unfinished edges on some of the shorts. I think we might have to get him into a hemmed pair at least. So that would be good. And then these two came out, and there was just something really special and expensive about. What is it? I don't know what's going on out there. Really something special about these prints on here, and they were short shorts, and yeah, these are two of my favorite Ken beach shorts. I guess they just keep getting better and better. These are definitely the two favorite, yeah, because then these ones came out next, which I do really love. That's why I had them on the 90210 guys, but as you can see, they are unhemmed on the bottom, but they're still great, and I am glad to have these guys back in their outfits that they're supposed to have. And I have all of the heads on. I had these two heads removed from these bodies and in a box somewhere. One of them I had on here when I was like making homages to the movie Kens. So I made to move versions of every the ones that had the major talking parts in the movie. So I made like a dark complected guy, the Simu, and then whatever Ryan Reynolds versions, but I gave them, and the redhead. I also made an Alan, so I had 4 of them. But we're kind of over the movie. I guess everyone's over the movie. And now I have my collection together, and I don't know who. I don't want to take those heads off there, and I don't want to mix up the shorts. I like having that history of the evolution of Ken and how his fashionistas are changing and stuff. So that's really cool. So these have to go away, and you saw the different heads, and I definitely talked about which fashionistas, and you can see there's that head again from the from the onesie guy. So should I go find that onesie guy? No, he's in the other room, unfortunately. But I will have to do an update showing, or actually put a picture on Instagram if I ever do that again. But I do like how they made him look a little different. This is my Leroy from Flashdance. Oh no, Fame. Whoa. Leroy from Fame. That's what this mashup reminds me of, and that's why he's wearing a pair of my favorite shorts. And I don't want to take that head off. This head came with a tie and a white shirt at Fashionista original body, if I remember correctly. So I think this body is still available. I think if you want the white one, which I haven't even gotten there yet, but I'll just do it quickly. So before the buff body existed, there was a Superman body, and that's what I always used to use. I hunted down as many Superman and Batman as possible, and then I would switch out their hands with regular Ken hands, and then it was a body tone that matched a lot. There's so many heads in here. But the new Made to Move one had so much more articulation on here, and better articulation in here. There's an elastic band holding this leg, so it's not very sturdy. This plastic breaks a lot, especially at this knee joint here, and it's very fragile. This stuff is strong and rubbery. This is something that I very rarely do again. I only have a couple examples of a Hasbro head on a Mattel body, but I always wanted a classic G.I. Joe, and this makes this G.I. Joe even better because he's a little buffer, and the skin tone is pretty good. I think I originally tried this on a Max Steel body, but this is the skin tone of that matches great. So we got this. This is a reproduction G.I. Joe head, but I never use this, and I don't understand why. Yeah, it's very surprising because that's cool. Okay, and then this is one of the coolest heads that have been designed in modern times, and it was the right skin tone for the buff body. So he got this body. You can't avoid that. And of course, this Owen head, which I de-haired, I uprooted. And he just looks cranky, and it looks a lot like my cranky face, so I was very happy to have that. And then I have wigs and stuff that he can put on. Are they in here? Yes. Yes, they are. For when I don't have... Wait, the brown one's probably in here, but these date night Ken wigs are so incredible because they fit perfectly on this body. That reminds me that head should be in here. This is that head, and I love that head too. And in a perfect world, if I had infinite amounts of these bodies, this head would definitely win out. But this is the easy to change one. This Video Game Hero, I put him on one of the older buff bodies, the Superman ones. But yeah, this is a Batman one, but that is a really special Mattel head. So that one gets it. And then the Ever After Eye heads, which I always do that when I have hair like this. I use this as a mini-me kind of thing, but right now I really do want to get another one where I shave his head off too, so then he can be bald. But both of these heads, I like a molded head, so very cool on the buffer bodies. And then this is the example of the mermaid that I showed you. Where did that guy go? Where'd he go? Oh, here he is. He's hidden over here. These have a brown bottom. I don't understand these shorts, but when I rolled up the hem, they look way better like this. It's really cool. And what I did here was, this is what he looked like before. So this was a color reveal Mermaid Ken, and he looks great on this body. But, since I found another one at a thrift store, I was able to keep his hair. He's very Santa Claus. He's always great to have out for the Christmas season, but the hair, as cool as it is, it drives me crazy. So I have this version of him, and I guess I can put that head on a buff body sometimes. I mean, it is. I have so many of them. It's easy to pop the heads off. Just not with these ones. Even when you're heating them up and stuff, they have such a tiny peg hole that I really had to heat them up and really jam them on. And so these are kind of on permanently. I wouldn't want to. His neck is, because it was an older doll. Actually, that's not true. I think he was new. And also, this Dexter. No, what's his name? His name is Hunter. Hunter Huntsman. This is the Tricassalon one, which is a different skin tone that matches the skin than the standard version. The standard version is, I don't know if it's darker or lighter. Maybe that one could go on the Max Steel. I had this one on the Max Steel for a long time, and I didn't care because it was my favorite body and my favorite head that was ever made by Mattel. And it didn't match, but I kept it that way anyway. And then one day I realized after the buff one came out, hey, that's a perfect match, and it was. So I do miss using this one. I just, I use them more when I have this haircut. Maybe I have to grow out my hair again. And this is the best honorable mention is Finn. This is an awesome head, and it matches so well on here, and it looks so good. And I do have a whole bin full of made-to-moves that have Disney heads on them, but this is one of the Disney heads that match, and some other honorable mentions are in here. Actually, a lot of Disney figures. Oh, and this guy looks so good on this body. I like to put that on. Oh, here's the brown hair. Here's the hair that I can use for when this is what I do when I have normal hair, or slightly longer. But there we go. So that's the collection. Here's what the Batman looked like. Not a fan of that head sculpt at all. Some other ones that I've experimented with, and yeah. Like a Simu from an action figure, which kind of worked on the bodies too. It was a weird skin tone, though, that didn't really work perfectly. And then I know that I balded one of these. Actually, maybe I didn't bald one of them. I think I just realized that I was going to bald one of these, but then I realized it's pretty much the same face as that one. But maybe I will, because look at this. This is why I don't like hair. It might as well be sculpted anyway. What's the point? It doesn't look good. I mean, he has holes in his head, but it just looks like stubble. This looks way better to me, even in its condition, with the holes in it, than this, because it's just slicked and it's a mess, and it might as well be sculpted anyway. But sometimes I can accept it when it's like a haircut like this, just like I can accept this haircut on myself, because it's kind of easier to control the top part, and the sides are always neat. So really wish and hope I find more of these heads one day, because there's some worn pieces around the edge there. But I mean, I guess that happens anyway. This is, especially when from the mold, when it comes out sometimes, even on this old, you can see that some of it's thin. It just makes the head fit on the neck better. Okay, so that's my weird Ken doll collection. There's a lot more that I could talk about and show you. I do kind of want to go through all of these Max Steel parts, but I'm pretty sure nobody would be interested in that. And I think I am going to get rid of all of the stuff that's really worn out and it's old, which is a lot of the vintage Ken clothes, which it's kind of sad because they do fit on the Max Steel bodies so well. And maybe I will do that with you. We'll look at the classic Ken clothes, and I'll see which ones are new and which ones are in good shape and which ones are good enough. Like this t-shirt, for example, that was a classic Ken t-shirt, and I did get it at a thrift store, but it was in pristine condition, and I found two dolls dressed exactly the same boots and the same jeans and the same shirt and the same jacket, and everything was in pristine condition, and it was a weird fashion pack. But this is definitely a favorite t-shirt for sure. And where's the there's too much going on here. Where's the mini-me? Oh, he has brown hair. Maybe that's why I'm not recognizing him. He's got a white tank top on and brown hair. He was buried. Maybe I didn't. This one is official. I don't like the pills on there, but I guess just like real fashions, I have to take the fuzz eater to his shirt. And I guess because I wear it and have this laying around so often, that's why it's all pilled up. But I love this outfit. As you can see, it definitely matches. This is Twinning Tuesday? No, it's Friday the 13th. Alright, so that is today's video, going through the collection. This is my new favorite action doll. You probably are scared of it, and I also think that that's cool. So thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you again tomorrow, December 14th. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Until then.